Who do you think between a man and a woman, who should love who more for a relationship to work out?
You want to answer that question first?
Yeah. Well, no one.
Really?
Okay,
It's a teamwork.
okay, because
It's a
I thought you were.
teamwork.
I thought it was
You know,
only one.
My experience, because we all have, again, we all have different ways of loving someone, you see. But there's no who gonna love that person more than the other person. Love, I actually believe that love do fade away with time. Appreciation, friendship make people stay together for life. You know what I mean? What is love? Again, that's the question. My love can be different than your definition of the word love. When I come home and I see my baby at home, just being at home, I can love that person for that reason. You see, simple. I'm a simple guy. I'm not asking for you, cooking every day and making buffet and those kind of stuff. Noodles, I'm good. But what makes me love that person is who she is. You know what I mean? So that's my definition of love. Because again, I believe that love do fade away. All those lovey stuff, those give me kiss, I love you every morning things there.
So to you, like, say if you're in a relationship, you think or you feel they should, like, both of you should love each other equally?
Not equally, but the connection has to be there. And there's no definition of equally or not equally. It has to click. When it clicks, you don't know who give more, who doesn't give more. You know what I mean? Like, someone can just love you because you just say, hey, good job, because you did something good today. You know what I mean? Like, that's me. I'm not a guy that asks for much. Most guys don't ask for much, And I hope that my girl or my wife can be like that, As fact that, she doesn't ask for too much or, always complaining about stuff. The communication is key to love. You see, you don't like something, let me know. I like something, I will let you know. Just a small tap like this on your girl because she cooks something for you. That can be actually that's
you
love
being
too.
considerate.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I consider that as love.
yeah.
I love the person. I care for that person. I like that person. I appreciate that person. That's my definition of being in love with someone. So no, love cannot be equal. It's just a teamwork, basically.
Okay. What about you?
I think I agree with him on that part because this whole notion of like oh, I love you more, or oh, my man loves me more than I love, like, in my head it doesn't click because, again, if you guys love each other, there's no measurement necessarily to it. You either click or you don't. And one thing I notice is that when one person loves more than the other, ultimately that person is going to be spiteful, because there's going to be an aha moment later on where they're not receiving any appreciation. There's only so much you could take. So let's say this guy, he loves his woman. He does everything for her, takes care of her, whatever, cooks when she's sick and all of that stuff. One day he's just going to lose it. The same thing vice versa. We see it, unfortunately, we see it in women where they're in a relationship where they cook, clean, and I know a lot of us don't like to admit it, but we see it in our parents' generation, where the woman will do a lot of stuff and the man doesn't see it. She loves, she gives, but the guy doesn't give it back. And one day she will lose it and she will either bounce or she will create a scene or whatever it is. I feel like that's toxic. And I feel like even then, it's like, it's not conducive. It just doesn't work out. You can't that's why I said I agree with him. You can't put a measurement on what is love. How I choose to love you is going to be different on how he chooses to love me. I can't measure. We're not going to have the same communication of love. My partner just so happens to be somebody that is very articulate and can speak when he doesn't like something. So if he says, I don't like what you do to me, he says it. Me, I keep everything in. But I also have other ways of showing him love, and we connect in that way. So I don't know. I can't put a measurement on that.
Exactly. You just have to connect. You just have to click. Like you
even the 50-50 equal love. How do you measure?
Like
that?
you say you spoke about our parents' time or whatever. Me personally, seeing my parents, I wish I can be like that. I love the old school love. You know what I mean? Those You know, those old school, open the door for the lady. You know, those kind of stuff there, you know. Because why? Because I see my dad doing it to for my mom. You know, like, my dad never... I have an elder brother, he's 40 years old. So my dad never for the 40 years that they has been together, we never heard my dad say to my mom, I love you. The word I love you. Never. But they are still together. You know, we know people that say the I love you word that today they are divorced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it depends how, like she said, there's no measurement. You know, I've seen it with my parents. You know, my mom can be in the kitchen cooking, and my dad will come and say, "What are you doing? The kids don't even live in the house anymore. For who are you cooking? You know, I can do my own stuff." Or we can be in the living room, and there's this part in front of the TV, and my mom cannot see the TV. So my dad will just move that stuff. And one day I asked my dad, I'm like, how do you know that mommy couldn't see the TV? She didn't tell you anything. You just actually move it for her. It's like it's the connection. The minute you are in love, that word love, that faded with time, and I do believe him because he's almost 80, my dad, you know, and he's actually saying the truth. The connection is there. You feel that person, you know. So there's no measurement who loves more or who doesn't love more. You just feel it, you know.
I beg to differ. Even with the back in the day, it's a different time. Our father's mentality was kind of different. Our mother's too was like, you know, more of like traditional roles. But I just want to touch on the question that I asked earlier. The reason why I asked is, who should love who more for a relationship to work out? You know, now there are instances whereby a woman will love a man, right? Like, let's say a woman that you really, really like or whatever, she has to love you based on how you make her feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in marriage, let's talk about commitment. Men commit. Women only commit based on their feelings. That is the furthest their commitment goes. So that's why when a woman is not happy, she becomes something else. Mm-hmm. And marriage is not even about happiness, and that's even a different topic. But I'm just saying, right, when they are not happy, it becomes something else.
But don't you think both parties do that though?
No. Like we you know, with men, we don't talk about happiness.
But women, it's not that women don't understand the trials and tribulation that comes into marriage. They do, just as men do. However, there comes a point where it's like, okay, she may not be happy, but she's still going to put up to it, hoping that there might be compromises or there might be changes into it. It's not like, oh, because you stopped doing this for me, automatically I'm going to stop loving you. No, it's just that they're going to put up with it and try. And I'm talking about normal women. I'm not talking about, because we've been going back and forth on the other side. So I'm talking about just the general sane public.
Yeah, sane public.
Yeah. You're going to, you're going to push through. The same thing with men. You're going to push through. And then when you're up to here, you're going to be like, okay, enough is enough.
There are instances where like let's say back in Chicago, right? All this African men that ended up, coming to America, they work too much. They have a whole like workload that whereby they are the breadwinners, even when they ended up bringing their family, right? And most of the wives that they brought ended up cheating because they had less time. And that goes back to your point. It's like, if the person is not like, it gets to a point is not doing what he used to do or whatever. With men, I'm not saying you should ignore your wife, but it gets to a point whereby you got a lot of things going on that you have to like deal with, especially if you're the breadwinner. So if you don't have time to do certain things with your woman that you used to, and I'm saying this not only out of experience, but I'm just saying, like, if you don't do the things that you used to do with a woman, and I agree with her, like, it's not like when it happens, they just move. But let's just say you're married and the first 5 years was good. The next 5 years was challenging. Few women will stick around.
Because you have responsibilities that come along with it.
Yeah, few women will stick around. For a man, like, I'm not talking about the bums, like the ones that are responsible. Let's put it this way. with the cheating that we talked about like earlier before the show started, is a man could cheat, right? But he totally loves his woman. You see the commitment of a man? Like he loves her. Like if I love a woman, I love her. Even if I step out, I love her. I'm not saying what I did is right, but like I'm committed to her. But can you say that for a woman?
But I said that it can happen in both ways, though.
No,
So
no,
a
no, no.
woman that could be a spiteful, if she is spiteful,
That is revenge.
you can't justify one error with another error, though.
No, but that's
Both
what
are
is
wrong,
happening,
though.
though. It's wrong. I agree, but that's what is
Because
happening.
how I look at it is that just because you love me and you step out, like you wrong for that. The same thing for a woman who is spiteful because her man is not providing her something. You wrong for that. I both look at it as you both done messed up. It's as simple as that. Like I don't balance it.
I'm telling
Like
you,
between
yeah, but that's a man's nature. I'm telling you, a man's nature. You know, like we've spent years upon years
a man's
understanding.
nature to do what?
Like I'm saying, like a man could do this and still be committed to you. A woman can't do that.
That's
And be,
foul for me, though.
no, I'm not
Even
saying
if
that.
it's your if you claim that it's your nature,
Yeah,
which I
I'm not saying all men are doing it, but I'm just saying when it happens, a man could literally like not play both sides, but he knows whom he wants to be with. So a woman can do that, and the reason why I'm bringing up this is when you're in a relationship with somebody, and a man before a man marries a woman, he is committed. Like we are going against our nature. I'm not saying men are out here cheating, but like a man could literally see a woman down the street, not catch feelings, do whatever, and
it's
keep
just
it pushing.
called discipline. At the same time, this whole notion that of okay,
That is what
I'm
religion
sorry.
is doing to that
I beg
to
your
us.
pardon?
That's what religion is doing to us. The discipline that you're talking about.
Yeah,
That is
but you have discipline, and it should stop there. It's as discipline, be it it's your nature or what. Let's play semantics. It's in your nature, right? It's in your nature to look at other women, whatever. Honestly speaking, I could care less, whatever. But to use that as an excuse and say that when a man cheats, he can. It's we're going to kind of like sugarcoat it and make it seem like, okay, well, he still loves his woman. It's still equal. If anything, I find that it's even much more foul. Because if you love me, if you're capable of loving me and to be able to step out of the matrimonial bed and do what you did, whereas a woman, and by the way, I'm playing semantics here.
Yeah.
A woman who's being spiteful for whatever reason,
Yeah.
be it the man did not provide for her, which I find is a dumb reason, but maybe the man didn't provide for her, or maybe the man was abusive, or maybe the man was, maybe prior he was cheating and she wanted to hurt him where it hurts.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me because you love me, at least you love me and you stepped out, that makes it okay? No, the fact that you love me should make you have that discipline. You think I don't know that you can't look at a Harry or I don't know a Karen or a Julia or a LaQuisha or whatever and do something with her?
Do you believe one woman could satisfy a man? Like one man, like one woman could satisfy a man?
Otherwise, be in a polygamous. In a polygamous relationship. Is as simple as that.
You see the
I like
problem again?
polygamous
No,
relationship.
it's good. It's good.
At
I'm
least
not against
I
it.
respect that, actually. I respect that. I respect a man that can sit here and be like, you know what? Me as a man, in my nature, I like to be in a polygamous relationship. I respect that more as opposed to a man who's in a relationship and claims to be monogamous and claims to love this person and steps out.
I asked you a question, right?
Yeah.
You're like one woman could satisfy a man. Like you're now telling me what satisfy a man, whereby you don't know.
One woman,
Can't.
if a man
We
if
just
a man loves, I'm not saying all men. There are men out there. There are men who cannot be satisfied by one woman, and there are men who can be
Let's generalize
satisfied
it.
if they. Okay,
Let's generalize.
we
it.
cannot generalize it because
We are. Do you know what I'm saying? That is, let's say we have 100 men. Like you put 100 men right here,
okay.
and you give them the option that, and all of them have like they have their wives or whatever, and give them the option that listen, these are like, and they have. On the flip side, they have like 10 models or maybe pretty 20, 30 models.
Okay.
And they're telling them that, listen, you could be with it, like you could have sex, be whatever with this woman, right? But your wives are okay with it. All of them. Probably 99 of them will partake in it.
Okay, so
And
I don't
that-
know what
no-
world you live in because the majority of my guy friends are not like that.
No,
Yes,
I'm-
I've met both sides, but like, okay.
you're missing the point. I'm a man. I could be committed to one woman, but I'm just telling you, if the option is there, even the holiest of the holy would join in the
Even
in
the Pope will
the Pope
join.
would
Yeah,
join it.
but you think, but even the holiest of the holy